I do the majority of the housework, and I'm okay with this. I genuinely don't mind it. My issue was not with wanting more help from him. It was just because I felt like he didn't appreciate it. I'm a nurse who's been working shifts that are longer than usual. No biggie. So when I get home, there were a lot of dishes in the sink, since I've just wanted to shower and sleep when I got home the past few days. And my husband says, I'm not sure if you're waiting for those dishes to do themselves, but spoiler alert, they're not going to. So I told him, no, they aren't, so you better get on them. He laughed and we moved on. I went to shower, came back and did the dishes. He then said he needed to talk to me about something and he looked really serious. I thought he was going to ask for a divorce or something. But he said something along the lines of, honey, I know you've been working late this week, and I understand you've got a lot on your plate at work, but I've had to eat cup of noodles and Hot Pockets these last few nights. So he basically told me that I had been slacking and that he was paying the price for it. I told him that he was perfectly capable of finding something for himself, and we argued a bit, then made up. But I decided to stop doing chores or anything, and the house became a mess. He's been whining about the TV dinners he's been eating, and since I haven't been grocery shopping, we're also getting low on those. He finally broke and apologized for not being more appreciative. He's since changed his tune, but he told me that I'd been acting like a witch for those few weeks. I feel it was the only way to get him to be more appreciative though. Not the idiot. Do it again for the witch word. He only apologized because he didn't want to suffer, not because he thought he was wrong. He should do 50% of the chores, not 0%. Maybe time to start invoicing him for all the cooking and cleaning, because it sounds like he misses his maid and chef. When I read those dishes aren't going to do themselves, I almost turned into a ball of flames. OP, that's disgusting to say, and you are not the idiot. I'd do it again, to be honest, because it's one thing not to be as bothered by the mess. Some people don't do a lot of their housework share because they don't mind it being dirty, but that's not here. He complained to you in such a crappy way instead of just doing them. If it bothered him that much, he should have done it. Next time, ask him why he hasn't done it. Whatever excuse he gives, just say, so it's okay for me to feel bad, but not you. No offense, but why are you with him? I mean, he sounds mature enough to talk through an argument and apologize, but if he isn't going to do basic chores, what is he doing? And him saying, spoiler alert, they're not going to do themselves is so disrespectful. And him saying, but I've had to eat a cup of noodles and Hot Pockets. He sounds like he not only disrespects you, but expects you to cater to him. A grown man is perfectly capable of dealing with his own supper and cleaning up after himself. You said you come home to a bunch of dishes and you just shower and go to bed basically. Where are the dishes coming from? My parents have been married for 35 years. About 5 years ago, my dad told my mom she cooked the same things too often, and he was sick of the food she made. She hasn't cooked dinner for him since. Sometimes she cooks for herself. She'll cook for my siblings and me if we come over, but she absolutely will not cook for my dad, and he knows why. She was a housewife who cooked, cleaned, and raised kids for multiple decades without thanks, and he said that to her? My mom did the right thing. I don't understand why you're here. Your marriage is you being treated like a maid. You say you are okay with that. Your husband treats you like dirt under his shoe, and you say you're okay with that? You allow yourself to be used, verbally abused, unappreciated, and then you tell us you don't mind this at all. Your husband is an idiot, but from what you keep saying, you don't mind living with an idiot who treats you like slave labor. So why come here? You are the idiot for wasting our time. So I, 18 female, have a thing going on with my group of friends for pretty much all of high school that we hang out on Sunday evenings at someone's house. The hosts change week to week, whoever can host that week. Anyways, the agreed upon thing was that we all chip in like $5 for food, usually pizza and stuff. Some gave more if someone else was in a rough spot, and it always works fine. One friend, Carla's 18 female, parents own a pretty successful restaurant, so they like to cook rather than order pizza, which is great on its own. We all still chip in $5 or so for ingredients. The problem is that the dad who likes to cook doesn't take criticism well and always makes something I either can't eat due to allergies or am not into. I stopped joining in, chipping in money when they would host, so I wasn't a letdown for a while. I had been as clear as an awkward girl can be about what my issues and allergies were. My family has never been very wealthy, and well, we ended up homeless for a while, so the hangout nights became a night I could eat something special without worrying too much. Plus, my friends were always great about sending me back with leftovers if they could. So Sunday, I decided to join in on the meal at Carla's house again. I gave money for it as usual. Unfortunately, it turned out to once again be something I'm allergic to. I wanted to cry because, essentially, I wasted $5 that I could have used. Not wanting to confront them about getting the money back or being a party pooper, I ate some. The allergy wasn't anaphylactic, but I broke out in hives and my face was very red and swollen. I took some Benadryl and was as discreet as possible, but my one friend, Alex, nearly adult male, noticed and asked if I was okay. So I kinda casually mentioned it. Suddenly the room exploded. Some people were concerned for me, saying I shouldn't have to do that. Carla got upset and went to tell her dad, who came in and asked me why I didn't just not eat it, to which I replied, I didn't want to be a burden or waste my $5. He grabbed $5 and gave it to me, telling me not to eat there again. Carla was upset I embarrassed her dad. 2 more friends told me I was an attention seeker, and someone else told me I ruined nights at Carla's house. So, am I the idiot? I didn't want this to happen at all, and I don't want to lose my friends. Not the idiot. Why would her dad be embarrassed over you having an allergic reaction? I don't get how you having an allergic reaction would be attention seeking. Teenagers crack me up. If her dad knows about your allergies and continues to make stuff you're allergic to without making something separate for you, he's the idiot. His reaction telling you not to eat there again is super rude. I'm going to go with the unpopular vote here. You are the idiot. You knew that you would have an allergic reaction to something, and yet you ate it anyway. Are you insane? Surely you can see why Carla's dad got upset. He would have been way less upset if you'd simply said, I'm allergic to X ingredient, and so can't eat that. If you haven't been eating at Carla's for a while, it would have been good to remind her of your allergies. It also would have been fine to ask for the money back once you found out what it was. You also could have asked beforehand. Above all, it was foolish to eat it anyway. I don't think you're the idiot for this, but just don't purposely do that to yourself. Carla and her dad seem odd. I can't imagine not accommodating a guest allergy. My daughter is nearly adult, and over a week ago, we were driving home from the grocery store and passed a Party City, costume store if you don't have them where you are. She asked me if I could stop so she could pick up something for her Halloween costume. I playfully asked where she would be wearing this costume, and she said trick-or-treating, like it was obvious. She didn't go this previous year because of the global issue, and we discussed her age 2 years ago that ultimately ended with her going anyway, but I figured it'd be the last time. It honestly shocked me that she was a teen and pretty mature for her age at that, a gifted student, etc., and still immature enough to think she was going to walk around in a costume with a bunch of small children. I told her no. She was mad, but I figured it would pass. However, it's been over a week and she's still angry with me. She says many people her age still go, and that she was even invited to go with a group of same-age friends. But I showed her the statistic that most people think you shouldn't trick-or-treat past 12 or so, unless you have a mental disability. She says it's her favorite holiday and I've ruined it for her, etc. Am I in the wrong here? I never trick-or-treated myself, and all my friends who did say they stopped around 14 at the most. You are the idiot. Your daughter is still a child. 'Cause yep, she's still one of those that pretty much lost a year of her social and emotional growth. She's going with a group of friends. Let your daughter be a kid for a bit longer and remove the broomstick you've got lodged in you. Big fat you are the idiot. I seriously don't see what the issue is with her going, unless you have some ridiculous obsession with how it will somehow reflect on you as a parent. I went trick-or-treating at her age. The alternative would have been an out-of-control, unsupervised drunken party. Are you trying to push her towards that? Because that's what most teens do when they stop trick-or-treating. You are the idiot. You really are not going to listen to what your daughter says and listen to stupid statistics? Let her enjoy herself. It's fun and doesn't harm anyone. When and where did it say? that people past a certain age have a mental disability for enjoying a fun holiday? This will make her unhappy because she wants to have fun if she's responsible and such. Who cares if your friend stopped at 14? People are different. I, 23 female, have a husband, 24. He has a sister, 25, with whom he's extremely close. Since my husband first introduced me to her, she and I have gotten along, and I actually consider her my sister. Recently, she started living with us. She was supposed to get married to her fiance, but last second he canceled the wedding, and she had nowhere to live since he was her support system financially. So we took her in while she got back up on her feet. Well, since she lives with us, we allow her to bring over her friends. One friend, 24 female in particular, sleeps over a lot. I don't really mind since sister-in-law's room is in the attic, and her friend really doesn't come out of her room often. I have noticed, though, that when my husband is out and she comes out of the attic, she would wear oversized hoodies and long baggy pants, but as soon as my husband comes back, she'll go back up to the attic and come back wearing booty shorts and a basically transparent shirt that shows everything. I thought I was overreacting and didn't do anything about it, but my husband came to me shaking the other day. When I asked him what was wrong, he cried that he felt extremely uncomfortable and angry. Then when I asked for a reason, he said that every time sister-in-law's friend comes over, she flirts non-stop with him when no one is around. Once apparently she even took off her pants, and when he told her not to, she said she just needed some air. He was so upset this time because a few minutes earlier she had tried to grab his hand. My husband hates physical touch with anyone he's not comfortable with, hence that was a breaking point for him. After a long discussion between us two, we told sister-in-law how we didn't want her friend over anymore because she was making us both uncomfortable. Sister-in-law freaked out, saying that it wasn't her friend's fault that my husband was attracted to her, and started saying we were both some idiots. I feel really bad, honestly. I'm a big woman's activist, and this has really made me feel like an intolerant woman. Also, sister-in-law refuses to look at me now, and I'm scared our relationship is ruined. I also feel bad because I know sister-in-law's friend was a big support system for her during these hard times, and I might have taken that away from her. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. This friend is harassing your husband. It has less to do with what she chooses to wear, and much more to do with her unwillingness to respect personal space and take a no. It's not bigoted in the slightest. Would you at all accept a man coming in, taking off his pants, and touching someone against their will? It's the same for her. I'm a woman and I can tell any woman activist that she is not supporting me by allowing me to be an idiot to everyone else and hide behind my gender. You want equal rights? Then you get to be accountable for your mistakes/choices as well. Stand firm. OP, not the idiot. Also, I'm 100% sure that if the same friend did the same to your sister-in-law's ex-fiance, she would have flipped her crap and thrown her so-called friend out of the house. Not the idiot. Also, I think sister-in-law is taking major advantage here. I'm not sure what the financial arrangement is, but I would not presume if I lived at another couple's home that I would be allowed to have sleepovers with my friends. I've had friends sleep over when I had a whole apartment or house to myself, but just a room? No thanks. That would make me feel like back in high school. Not to mention, awkward for the other people in the house for the pure reason that now you have strangers in common areas of your home. So nope, she'd be lucky if she got to stick around after making those comments. Not the idiot. But it kind of sounds like the friend might have been imagining that your husband was into it and likely talked about it that way to sister-in-law. If sister-in-law has been hearing this unreality for a while, then her reaction to your reaction makes more sense. I hope you and your husband can set her straight. It would be great if she reconsidered this friend. Also, it crossed my mind that this friend might be part of the reason for the previously canceled wedding plans. Almost like she is isolating this girl. Geez, OP. I worry that sister-in-law needs a detox in the friend department. Mary, 29 female, and I, 28 female, have been friends since university. She's always been overweight, but not obese. In US sizing, she's a size 12 to 14, and I'm a solid size 6. This will be relevant later. This past Saturday, we went shopping for a dress for a wedding. After multiple stores, neither of us had found dresses. That is until we got to this place. Immediately after we walked in, I zeroed in on a gorgeous dress. Unfortunately, there were only 2 left, too small. So I asked an employee for a size 6 and she left to check. In the meantime, I continued to browse. Soon after, Mary rushed to me carrying the same dress in size 2. She then rushed off to an employee before I could say anything and asked for a 12. When she returned, she was bummed and said they don't even make the dress in her size. So I tried to cheer her up by helping her find another. I ended up finding her a dress in her size that she liked, and it fit her well. A bit later, the employee brought me the dress in size 6, which I immediately tried on. I loved the way it looked and fit and wanted to show it to Mary. However, when she got to the dressing area and saw me, she was not happy. She froze for a few seconds and then walked out of the store. I purchased the dress and saw her sitting in the sitting area in front of the store. She still looked upset, so I asked her what was wrong. She gave me the saltiest look I've ever been on the receiving end of and proceeded to tear me a new one in front of the many people walking by. My heinous crime? Purchasing a dress that she wanted but couldn't fit. I was shocked and embarrassed, so I just walked away and texted her that I was getting an Uber home. The following morning, I received texts from Mary, Mary's sister, and a few mutual friends, telling me about how I owe Mary an apology for being an inconsiderate friend and demanding that I return the dress. I bought it on sale, so I couldn't even if I wanted to. I was annoyed and flabbergasted, so I sent a mass text to all of them, except Mary, saying that I would not be returning the dress and that I was looking forward to them seeing me in it at the wedding. Some of these people are also attending the wedding. I then sent Mary a separate text stating that A, I saw the dress first, B, I had no ill intent when purchasing it, and C, I didn't appreciate her yelling at me in public and then complaining about me to others. I then let her know that I'd be available to talk once she's cooled off. It's been 3 days, and Mary still hasn't responded to my text. Her defenders continued to barrage me with text messages throughout Sunday and Monday, so I ended up blocking their numbers. I'm starting to think that I should feel bad for buying the dress, but I do not. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Your friend and her defenders are acting so immature. It's not your fault that one dress in size 12 was sold out or something. Also, size 12 is not even that big. There are still plenty of nice outfits to choose from. Why is your friend so salty? Because she's super embarrassed. When you're 12 to 14 US, it's a gamble as to whether you're going to fit into things, and not in straight size stores. So shopping with thinner friends can be an embarrassing experience. OP did nothing wrong in buying the dress, but they were a bit oblivious and could have considered how awful it must have felt for their friend to be told the company didn't even make the dress in her size. Everyone's the idiot. Mary shouldn't be having her friends and family harass you, but I can see why she would be hurt and annoyed by your behavior from her viewpoint. She didn't know you saw the dress and asked for your size, and you didn't tell her. From her view, she was told they didn't even make that dress in her size, and you found one in yours and call her over to show off how good you look in it before you buy it. You can't see how you come off as the idiot here? Your comment on how you can't wait for your friends to see how good you look in the dress, and the multiple times you've made sure to mention that M is overweight, makes me think you aren't as benevolent as you think.